Hello there, study buddies, and welcome to another video. This is an exciting one because this video is going to be the Japanese introduction to the channel. I would like to share the very brief past I have with this language, so story time. My history with Japanese goes back as far as when I was 10 or 11. A friend had given me a Naruto CD, like DVD, and I went home and gave it to my baby brother, and that was literally it. I hadn't even known it was Japanese, but now I know Naruto, and I know Naruto is in Japanese, so it was probably in Japanese too. Then on TV, we'd watch a ton of anime. This was when I was about 13, 14, 12, I don't know. Anyway, we did watch a ton of anime on TV, but they were all dubbed in English, so I never actually heard Japanese spoken. And the most memorable one is Dragon Ball. I watched bits and pieces of that, but I was never into it. Mind you, that was also dubbed in English, so we didn't actually know it was originally Japanese. Fast forward to 2020, I watched my very first Japanese BL, Life, Love on the Line. This series is absolutely beautiful, and I was obsessed with it. I mean, I still am, and I watched it so many damn times, and I do watch it every year. It's sort of like a ritual. Anyways, I went on to watch another series by Jin Shirasu called We Are Too Clumsy About Love, and that kind of started my journey into Japanese media. Now, one thing about me is that whenever I have decided to learn a language, it is always because I watched a movie and then fell in love with the language and then decided to learn it. For example, I decided to learn Thai after watching Town Thai, my very first BL. Decided to learn Spanish after my very first telenovela, Corazón Indomable. Korean after Playful Kiss, Norwegian after Scam, you get the gist. But there was simply something that turned me off completely from Japanese. I loved the movies, okay, but that was simply it. I couldn't connect with the language at all. And then I learned it had 3 writing systems, and then I knew that it would be one of the 2 languages I never ever would attempt to learn. In fact, I'd sworn I would never learn Japanese ever, simply because I thought it seemed super difficult and I just couldn't connect with the language, which is always my main motive for learning a new language. One other thing is, I am not very much into Japanese movies, and I can seriously count all the Japanese series I have watched on both hands since the very first one. I have seen My Beautiful Man, Candy Color Paradox, The Novelist, Ripe for the Picking, Dear Sachan, We Are Too Clumsy About Love, and Sweet Soap, which was truly silly and very funny. I am currently watching Love is a Poison. Okay, I am not actually watching it anymore. It was recommended to me by my sister. I started watching it and it was good. I loved it, but somehow I just forgot about it midway. I don't know what happened. I just completely forgot about it. I'll probably go back and finish it or not. I don't know. Okay, enough with the history, okay? Let's move on to what made me change my mind. So much so that not only did I start to learn Japanese, but I have been at it for like several months now, since May 18, 2025. I decided on that day and then I started immediately. So somewhere last year, and most especially the entirety of this year, my sister kept trying to get me to watch this series, okay? And I always came up with excuses as to why I couldn't watch it. And my sister, she has great taste. She has amazing taste in movies, and everything she's ever recommended me and gotten me to watch was super good. But for some reason, I just wasn't in the mood to commit to any series, and especially this one because she told me it was in Japanese. I did start it and didn't make it past a few minutes and then stopped. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I really watched like the very intro of the first episode and then clicked off and cleared it off my mind. Of course, my sister still brought it up every now and then because she wanted us to discuss it, and I wasn't watching it, and then, you know, the whole thing. But I am beating around the bush. Eventually, break rolled around, yes, and she finally convinced me one last time, and turns out it was a show. She did tell me that, but perhaps I wasn't paying attention, and let's just say all I had needed was to experience Japanese being used in like real life situations, not like in the series, which always sounds so sappy to me for some reason, and just things that seem like they only happen in one's imaginations. Like it just never felt real to me. But when I experienced people like using the language. That was when it happened for me. I fell in love at once. It was insane. I binge watched the entire show, and by the time I was done, I was head over heels in love with the language. And of course, I'm gonna butcher the names, but I will write them on the screen. Chiaki, Horan, and Turian won me over. Oh my god, I loved listening to them. And for the first time, I guess I saw the beauty of this language. It was just wow. Then of course, the cast of the show, oh my god. Yeah, I love all of them. Everyone. I loved every one of them. And after the show, I wanted more. And so I found the Daishin channel, a couple who it turns out as a BL lover I'd come across before on Instagram, but had no clue they had a show or had been on a show or even had a YouTube channel. I never paid attention. Anyways, I found their channel and binge watched all the 58 episodes that were available at the time. Of course, that was spread over days. It was then that I went to my sister to tell her I was going to learn Japanese. Okay, we won't go into her reaction when she heard me say that, but I told my sister and then I began. Mind you, over the years, I've been trying to learn languages and I was hopping from one language to the next. It was my sister who kept advising me to just stop hopping from one language to the other and just stick to one. I did finally listen and it was good advice. It worked out. She's the best thing, you know. Anyway, so to start, I asked ChatGPT how I was to get started learning Japanese. And the first step was to learn hiragana and then katakana and then kanji. I said, good idea. It also recommended Tofugu's Learn Hiragana, the ultimate guide, which I didn't use much because I wanted to learn it as fast as possible. And so what I did was I downloaded the Write It Japanese, whose Thai version I had used to practice the Thai characters back in the day. So for the very first week, I spent every free time I had, even during downtimes while working, to practice the characters. It was fun and overwhelming at best, but my excitement to learn it overrode it all. After the first week, I could identify the characters, and so I started learning phrases on the Mango Languages app, and it was great. I also started learning katakana in the second week, but my brain was really struggling because of the overwhelm, and so I decided to take katakana very slow, especially when I learned it was mostly used for loan words. I was diligent on Mango Languages until the lessons became super overwhelming for me. I found myself avoiding learning, and when I did try, it took way too much effort, and then I realized I needed to change resources. I had started using Link in the very beginning, but fell off that pretty quickly. Then I switched to Duolingo. It hadn't even occurred to me until this point to use Duo, since that was where I was learning Spanish. So I went on there and then started the Japanese course, and it was amazing. It was just the pace I didn't know I needed, and suddenly I was back in motion. I used Duolingo consistently and started building on my vocabulary. I will go more into detail about the getting started process with Japanese, because after I started sharing this on Instagram, I realized that I wasn't the only one who had the struggle I did when I began, and so I would make a video sharing exactly how I, navigated that very rough path that is starting and building that momentum that will get you to start learning phrases easier, and we'll get into it in that video, okay? After a month on Duolingo, I started thinking I needed to branch out, and so started to think about textbooks. In the beginning, one of the things I didn't want to do was buy textbooks to learn Japanese, but turns out it was starting to seem necessary. Plus, I also saw almost every Japanese learner out there using textbook, and people who shared how they learned also shared that textbooks helped them a lot. I know myself, and I know that I might get the textbook all right and not use it, and I wanted to avoid that at all costs. I did get to a point where I almost got the Genki books, but changed my mind when I had an opportunity to get it from my library and decided against it. As a result, I had to find something else. Japanese Pod 101 came to the rescue. Someone also recommended to me a great YouTube channel by the name Tokini Andy. I haven't really studied with his videos yet, but watched one other video at a time, and I loved it. So far though, I have been learning grammar with Japanese Pod 101 and then searching it up and clicking on random YouTube videos and watching them. And another reason why I decided against the books were, once I opened them, I wondered how I was going to learn the pronunciation through a textbook. Written format, you don't really know pronunciation, and usually when I start a language, I want to hear everything everything. Books just don't work for me. As long as the books come with audio, that is fine. But so far, the textbooks I was encountering did not have that. And so, yeah, that was something. Of course, it occurred to me that some of these books might come with audio sources, but what if they didn't? I needed to learn by hearing it, just like I had done with Thai. Therefore, currently, I use Duolingo and Japanese Pod 101 mostly to learn Japanese. I love simplicity, guys. And I feel like these are all I need so far. It's barely been 3-4 months and I already feel like I can take speaking classes now. I feel like I am there now, but I started to realize I knew this much words and wasn't using them, and I felt quite stagnant that way. Due to that feeling, I started to look into resources for reading and found one that won my heart immediately, and that is the taduko.org website. The stories are so short and simple that I started studying with the stories right away. I like it because I think it is extremely practical and I get to learn phrases that I will actually use. And I also use chat to guide me through breaking the phrases down and learning the vocabulary. Let's say I am at A1 Japanese, and so even the beginner stuff is really tough to learn. I only know what I have learned, and that is not enough to even read a graded reader without help. And of course, kanji. Oh my god, kanji. We'll get into that in a different video. But anyway, I do have so much fun with the stories on taduko.org. So yeah, they're absolutely great. Anyway, let's just briefly talk about my goals. I feel like my goals keep changing if we don't count like the ultimate goal, which is to eventually be able to speak the language and to comprehend natives. That's always like the main goals. But obviously, I am learning Japanese for the fun of it. That does not mean I am not taking it seriously though. If you know me, then you know when I say I am learning for the fun of it, it is all the things I did to get to the level that I am in Thai today. So yes, I learned Thai for fun. Simply because it made me happy and I wanted to watch Thai media without subtitles. So yeah, and it's the same for Japanese. I want to one day be able to hold conversations in Japanese, read books in Japanese. I would also like to share some series I am excited to get into. I do want to watch A Man Who Defies the World of BL, Offline Love, and Erased. I recently watched First Love and oh my god, I think it is so beautiful, guys. I totally recommend it. First Love, it is beautiful. I watched it on Netflix and it was so good. I actually want to watch it again. I don't know if I'll ever finish Love is Poison, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching and have yourselves a wonderful week. Naka, ciao study buddies with so much love. Matarashu minasan. Bye bye.